Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Stephanie. I am guest designing for Love from Lizi, featuring the April 2018 card kit. And I'm so excited. This card kit is really like receiving a Christmas gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I was so excited with all the goodies that came in this kit. And I am going to be doing 10 cards. So the first card I'm doing here, I grabbed that wooden hello veneer, and I am going to paint that with some black acrylic paint, and you can paint it with whatever you desire. I just decided to use just regular acrylic paint because that's what I had on hand. I typically paint more with acrylics. Then I used some glossy accents, and I place that all on top of the wooden hello veneer, and I let that to dry on the side while I work on the rest of the card. So I went ahead and used that black cardstock along with the pearl half of the cardstock that came in the kit. And I'm going to grab that ribbon, and I have some floral wire, and I wanted to be able to manipulate this ribbon, and wires just seemed like a good idea. So I use some painter's tape to adhere that down while I glue the wire onto the ribbon, and then I went ahead and cut off the glue that was sticking from the sides. So now that I have my ribbon and wire attached to it, I grab my hello veneer, and I'm going to use some tacky glue to adhere that onto the card. And then I grabbed that little pink telephone on the sticker set that came with the kit, and I cut it apart. So I cut the main part of the phone, the dialing part of the phone, and then I adhere the ribbon that I had placed wire inside, and then I use the top part of the phone and adhere that next to the hello. And I thought this was such a fun idea. FYI, I used a black marker to cover up any part of the green floral wire that may be peeking through. And I just thought this was a great way to use that black ribbon. I really had a goal to use every single element of at least one part of every single element of this card kit. And I stamped the word here, "You are slaying it." I just thought it was cute, with the pink and the black going on. I felt that I needed a little bit more interest in this card, so I did grab two hearts. I grabbed one that has the beige with like the black spotted heart there, and then one with the checkered black and white pattern. And I thought that completed the card. Now I'm going to be doing the inside. So what I did is I just grabbed white watercolor paper, but you can use cardstock. I don't have a whole lot of white cardstock, so I just used watercolor. And the reason I used the white is because the card is black, so that way if I wanted to add a message to the recipient, they could see it. And this is the finished card. On to the next. So this is card number 2. I used the green card base and then the floral pattern along with the paper ledger pink pattern paper. And so I adhere all that together, and then I put that aside. And I'm working with this paper. It's a craft color. You can use any craft color paper that you have, and just roll it to size to make it look like a roll of paper. So basically the idea is to make it look like flowers that have been arranged in some some type of floral paper. And next I'm going to grab all the big pieces, flower big pieces that are in the sticker set. And I love the stickers and I love the cut parts in this. kit because it makes it so easy. I do not have a die cut machine, so it makes it easy to just pick something and adhere it and make a nice arrangement. So now that I have all the flowers that I want to use, some I adhere directly to the card, and then some I use some foam tape to prop up just to give the card a little bit of interest. I next get the white, I guess, see-through ribbon that comes in the kit with my own jute yarn that I have in my stash, and created a bow and adhere that with some tacky glue onto the craft paper. And I did grab that tab that says Dream from the sticker card set. And now I'm using this butterfly cut apart that came with the kit, along with many of the other cut aparts. And I adhere one side of the wing onto the card base. And then inside the card, I again place some watercolor paper. And then I'm going to stamp "You Are Beautiful" and add a couple dots next to "beautiful," and I add more butterflies inside just to kind of match what's going on the front of this card, and some flowers as well. And then off camera, I added some of the Nuvo drops here and there. And then I also added some of that sticker glitter shimmer stickers. I'm not sure what they were called. I'm sorry. So this is the finished card for card number 2. Card number 3. So I do use the blue card base, and I'm using the pink with like beigey striped pattern paper, and I adhere that, and then I put it aside to work on these 3 envelopes. And let me tell you, I just fell in love with these envelopes. I think it was such an amazing idea to have this included in the kit. And I thought that these envelopes needed to kind of be a focal point. They are the focal point, but I didn't want the white to kind of mute the whole envelope. So I did use some Archival ink in the color gray and just kind of lightly distress that on the edges of the envelope. So I did close the top flap and did distressing there too. I did grab my stamping platform and I stamped on the top part of the envelope 3 words, and I used the smallest words that came in the stamp set. So kind, brave, and loved. Next, I grabbed the baby blue ribbon that comes in the kit, and I adhere that towards the center of the envelope, and then I adhere that envelope in the arrangement you see now. Next, I have these tags from a previous pattern pad that I had, and I did not want the flowers. You could keep the flowers, but I didn't want the flower in that tag to show, so I used a couple small stickers to kind of make the image disappear, I guess. So I used the smaller stickers, and some I used hearts, some I just used flowers. And then with the small stamp alphabet letters that I had, I stamped the word pull. So that way the recipient knows that they need to go ahead and pull the bow off the envelope so they can see the message inside. Next, I grabbed the "This Is Me" sticker with that little banner, and I used some foam tape to adhere that towards the top of the card. So that way the recipient can read, "This is me, kind. This is me, love. This is me, brave." And, you know, that way they it's kind of like words of affirmation for the recipient, and for any occasion, really, graduation, or I don't know, friendship celebration, something. And I grabbed the Nuvo drops and just kind of went crazy with the background here and added drops all over the background. So here are some images of the finished card. Card number 4. I used the black card base and the pearl pearl card base that is card stock that's in the kit, and I used this circle shape that I had from a furniture paint that I had. You can use any shape you have, and this is for somebody that does not have a die cut machine. Of course, if you have a die cut machine, your circles will be perfect. But I wanted to get creative and do something and see if I could really achieve something without having a die cut machine and still be able to make these amazing shaker cards. So what I did is I made the circle onto the black card base, leaving a little bit of the spine so that way it's foldable. And then I did the circle to the pink pearl cardstock, and then cut out the center with a smaller circular shape. And then I did a circle with the watercolor paper, which you see now that I am distressing ink blending with tattered rose and velvet antique, I think. I will try to put all the colors in the description box. And I adhere that to the black card base. And the reason for that is because I wanted the white to show the items or the elements I'm going to be using on this card. Next, I add some tape adhesive on that pink pearl cardstock circle shape and add some, this is not acetate, this is just packaging paper that I had on hand. And I cut out the excess. Then I grabbed some foam paper, or it's not paper, it's just foam, and I make a wonky circle shape. It doesn't matter, it's not going to be shown. And I'm just making sure that the images inside the circle will be visible once I lay down the cover of this shaker card. And I did adhere the foam with some tacky glue. You can use a glue gun as well, which I do end up using just because I wanted this card to not move, especially with sequins inside. I did want to make sure that nothing was going to budge. Next, I grabbed this pack of the sequins, which I love the colors, and I glue some here and there onto the base just so that when you move the shaker, it looks as though some are still on the top. That way, when the recipient receives the card, not all the sequins goes directly to the bottom of the card. Next, I grab my glue gun and I adhere, I add that to the foam and I adhere that to the card base. And I had made a mistake with a black marker, and so I add the I am sticker on there to mask the fact that I made a boo-boo. And I did add some white faux stitching around the circle cover. And then I decided I want to add the sentiment, making it happen with some turquoise archival ink. And then it just, because of the shape and because of the bulk, it didn't give me a good impression. So I ended up using these stickers. Absolutely fabulous, doing amazing things. I'm on my way. So it'll read, I am absolutely fabulous. I am doing amazing things and I'm on my way. And I just thought it was a fun card. You can give it for somebody who got a promotion or is celebrating a milestone in the workplace or just a milestone in general. It doesn't have to be a happy birthday. On to the card number 5, I believe. So I used the pink card base and the gray pearl half cardstock paper that comes in the kit, and I wanted to use this embossing folder so bad that I was willing to try to figure out how to best use it without having a die cut machine. So I was like, what's hard enough? So I just grabbed this ice cream scoop, which was pretty hard because of the material it is, and I just started rubbing the daylights off of this embossing folder, and went to the front and the back, and I got a good impression. So I was, very pleased with the results without having to have a die cut machine. So I was very impressed, and I adhere that to the front of my card base. Next, I'm grabbing these pieces that the cutout pieces that come in the kit, and I grabbed the rose gold shimmery type wording that says "I am," the banner that says "On a Journey," the two feathers, cut apart feathers. There's two other ones in the sticker set, which I also end up using, and this compass. And I just thought that that was really nice that they all of these pieces went together nicely. Because it's like, when you're on a journey, you don't know where you're really going, and the compass kind of mimics that, and the feathers kind of, go with the wind, kind of feel there. So I just thought that was really nice. So anyways, in the event that I was trying to remove the feathers to place them in a different position, I made a boo-boo, and so to cover that, I used some of the stickers and kind of placed them where I feel they looked best. And then once I was done with that, I was kind of wondering if I should put a butterfly or not. And I ended up going with one of the stickers that says, "I am loving this," with the little arrow. And on the inside of this card, I placed some butterfly stickers. And that pretty much completes the card. Here are some still pictures of the finished card. Onto card number 6, I believe, and I apologize if I am not saying them in order, but I will make sure to add the words. I'm just doing the voiceover first. So next, I grabbed this white pearlescent cardstock, and I stamped all the words that come in the set, well, almost all of them. So you can see all of them there with Archival ink. And I adhere that to the yellow cardstock that comes in the kit. And then I grabbed these cut aparts, and I do apologize. I have my son with me, and he is a little bit rowdy today. So I add all these elements with some foam tape, and then I add that banner as well that says "Open to Possibilities." So then I grab the black ribbon, the wider black ribbon, and I add that to pretty much the spine of this card, but it ended up falling towards the front, which is fine. It just gave it a different look. And then so to make sure that this ribbon or bow does not move around, I did adhere that to the card itself. On the inside of this card, I wanted to kind of mimic what is going on the outside. So that little shoe had a floral pattern as the same as the "I am" word. So I adhere that towards the inside, and then that little notebook. And I thought it was really fun. And here are some still images of the finished card. Next card, I gave up on saying the numbers. I'll add them on the video, don't worry. So I add the yellow card base along with this floral typewriter pattern paper in the background. And I really love this typewriter, so I went ahead and cut it out. And using my X-Acto knife, I went ahead and followed the line where the paper would be coming out of the typewriter, and add a slit on there because I plan to add my own paper. So here I am, I'm adding 3 little small pieces of paper to slide down the typewriter. And so I'm just kind of moving them around, seeing how I want to arrange them. And I thought it would be fun to have the rolls of the top of the paper rolled down, just to give it some interest. And next I grabbed some distress ink, the gray. I'm not really good with the names here. And all I do is I add some shading around the typewriter and some definition of lines on the paper coming out of the typewriter. Next, I grab the cut aparts. These are not the stickers. These are the cut aparts that look like little ribbons, and I just cut off the ribbon area. And I adhere them to the first paper. And with a pen, I'm just outlining them. I just thought that's a fun effect. And the row here is kind of in the way of the word, so I just adhere that a little bit towards the top. And on the inside, I was kind of, pondering what to put inside. And I just went ahead and put the little sticker sentiment that says the possibilities are endless. And just because words are endless, and I don't know. You could just give it to somebody who does a good job at work, or somebody who loves typing. I just thought it was a fun card. So on to the next card. I use, again, the pink card base along with that same pearlescent gray half cardstock that comes in the kit, and I adhere all my elements. And next I'm grabbing just a scrap piece of paper, and I am loosely drawing what looks like a file folder. So I cut that out, and then I draw that towards the back, so the butterfly section of this paper. And I do this because I do not want to ruin the actual side I want to use. So I cut them out and put those to side. And then I grab scraps of paper, that pink and cream color and this yellow floral one. And I adhere that to the base, and I add some of those glimmer sticker lines. And then I'm ready to start adhering the file folders. And I add some paper inside and kind of crumble it. And I add the tabs, yesterday, today, tomorrow, you are important. And I just thought that was really fun. And on the inside, I wanted to mimic that floral pattern of the folders. So I added the sticker fab and I believe another element on the inside. And next card, I am going to be using this green card base and some watercolor paper. So I am going to be using this Illustrated Faith watercolor palette. And I drew like an angled square or rectangle, however you want to call it. And I grabbed the brush and I add some water first onto the watercolor paper. And I am loosely dropping different colors, and I added some colors that I thought would be fun to see or appealing to the eye. And once I drop down certain colors, I do go in with my heat gun or heat tool to set that so that I can continue working. And I add like pinky reds, orange, and two different yellows, like a turquoise green color and vibrant blue, like an ocean blue. And so I dry that off, and I add a second layer just to add more just so the colors would be more vibrant. That's what I'm trying to say. So I heat set that, making sure that everything is dry so that I can continue working. And with a marker or some type of pen that you have on hand, I just draw that outline. And so it's supposed to be kind of paper. And then I grab this cut apart that looks like a paintbrush. And I add my Arteza gray paintbrush or watercolor brush, and I'm adding shading under the paintbrush here and on the paper here, just for interest, just so it looks like, I don't know, 2D, is that the word I'm looking for? And I did add some red or pinky color to the cut apart paintbrush just so it looks like it was painting. And then I do add some glossy accents on that so it looks wet. And then I did grab the cut apart sentiment that says, I am the artist of my own life. And I added some shading along with that distress gray ink just so that it pops off this card here. And on to the next card. I do grab this baby blue card base and the checkered and what looks like watercolor splashes pattern paper, and I adhere all that. And I grabbed this mason jar from the large pattern paper that came in the kit. I cut it out, and I grabbed the white ribbon from the kit along with some jute string that I had on my stash, and I add the two tags. One is the burlap that comes in the kit, and the other tag cut apart that also comes in the kit. And I add them, I loop them through the string together, and I did add a floral heart that comes with the sticker set from the kit. I really did try to not use so much of my supplies and really stick to using the elements from the card kit. So next I adhere all that, and I add some foam tape to both tags so they kind of pop off the jar here. And then I did add those burlap flowers and add a little cluster towards the bottom left corner. And then I add the stickers. I did cut them out to say I am creative, I am loved, I am brave. And I add some white outlining to those stickers, and then I grab another sticker that says I am and then amazing on the inside. And then I go crazy again with this Nuvo drops outside this front of the card. And this completes the card number 10. I had so much fun with these cards. It was such an amazing experience. I just love the fact that there's so much to pick from. The possibilities are endless with this card kit. And I believe with every card kit that Love from Lizi comes up with. So here's what I am left with. So I do have some cut aparts. I do have some stickers left. I used them practically all of them on my cards. And some, these are just scrap papers of pattern paper. I only have, I believe, 3 full pattern papers that I did not use from the kit. Everything else I did use. I did not use that burlap ribbon or ribbon that comes in the kit. And I used some pieces of the tassel ribbon. I am left with some sequins and these glimmer stickers that come in this kit, and of course the full size of Nuvo drops that I can easily use on other projects. So I can still make some cards, believe it or not, from this kit. I had so much fun, and I hope you had as well. I hope you got inspired. And if you're not subscribed monthly to the Love from Lizi card kits, highly recommended. You won't regret it. So much goodies in this card kit. To see sneak peeks of future card kits, you can subscribe to this channel or to Love from Lizi's Instagram. Bye-bye!